Babes, holy shit. Did you read that chapter that I just read? What was that, chapter 1079? 1079, we're almost to 1080. We do get a break. I thought maybe for the first time. I don't think we've ever, at least not in recent memory in my mind, have done 4 chapters in a row. If you ever get the 3, it's always a break the next week, like always. And usually it does a good job of setting it up, but it's almost always that break. The chapter was short, but my god, was it sweet. I thought that we were going to be mainly looking at Egghead still. I didn't think we were going to get back to Shanks for till like after Egghead. Kind of the same with Law. And almost both those things you could say is resolved, but you'd have to have more proof, at least on one end. You'd have to have more proof. We get Desire talking with all the Seraphim about her plan and what she's going to do. And she's not an idiot. She understands that they want all the Stellas dead, including her. And when she tells the other one, she's like, don't destroy the following. And we don't get that. Whatever research that is, she's going to use that as collateral to make her a world noble or to make her a celestial dragon. Which I still don't really get because Vegapunk's right. It's like, bitch, like you see what's going on. Why would you want that? And she's Desire. She's greedy. She understands that's the life of luxury and that's what she wants. And it's kind of that simple. I do find it a little bit lame. I like half called it. I know I thought it was Shaka. I didn't make a video last week when it was announced because I thought the chapter, it was good, but it was kind of like lackluster in a way. It makes sense. I mean, of course, the person who desires something is going to be the person who betrays their friends, who betrays their creator, all of that. But it is what it is. And then as everybody's leaving the island, what do we see? 3 skulls and Blackbeard's ship is on the way. Now, is that Blackbeard himself? We don't know. We have no idea. We know Garp went out to go and fight Blackbeard. So does that mean Garp's going to be on Egghead? Does that mean Blackbeard's going to Egghead right now? I mean, it's a prime time for Blackbeard. Blackbeard is very good at going in and like scooping up valuables once the dust has settled, but he's getting there before anything even happens. So I don't know. If that is Blackbeard, that's kind of insane. That's kind of like absolutely insane because this war is going to be ginormous. Ginormous. We have, what was it, 10? No, I think it's way more than that, like maybe 30. A stupid amount of ships are on the way. We have Borsalino. We have Jay Garcia, who we still don't know anything about. We have all the Seraphim active. We have, I think it was 50 PX3s active. We have all the Straw Hats, and now Blackbeard's coming to town, and debatably Garp as well. I don't even know what to think. I have no idea. I don't know if that is Blackbeard. If it's anyone else, it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring. Like if it's one of his lackeys, I'm kind of bored. Unless one of those lackeys is Aokiji, then I'm not bored. If it's Shiryu of the Rain, we can finally start to build some hype around him because I don't know about you, but I don't really give much of a shit about the majority of Blackbeard's crew at the moment. Just Blackbeard himself, and I love Blackbeard, so I hope it's him. But if they want to build some hype around somebody else and kind of start to power scale them a bit to where they make sense for the end, I could see that being a smart move that Oda would make, but we have no idea, and we're not going to know for another 2 weeks, which that it seems like. But what's great is we didn't think that we were going to see Kid for a minute. Flash back to Kid. We get Shanks people. He's finally starting to get on a ship. Everyone's in love. They talk about how he has a lot of like weak people under his banner. Kind of a Whitebeard move to like protect his people. Just the people that he cares about and keeping them under his flag, which he kind of talked about. If you really nitpick and look a little bit into some of his crew, the one guy who's giving him intel on Kid, and then he also had the intel on Blackbeard, he must have some type of intel-ish devil fruit. I'm not 100% sure what that is. But we get a little bit of everyone. Lucky Rue's in there. Ben Beckman's active. Broggy and Dory have his back. And this is the greatest couple of things that we've seen from a person. So Shanks didn't disappoint. Shanks absolutely did not disappoint. One, he has much greater future sight than Katakuri, as far as I can tell. He was able to see well within the future, talk through the future, and like continue to see the future as he was acting. Like it seemed like that was super advanced, very advanced, and that's just a piece of him. And we know his Kings is already one, if not the best there is. There is. I mean, it's kind of tough to compare at this point, but that there is. So for him to take out, and you do all this math in your head, and you're like, for him to take out Green Bull with ease from like a while away, and I know he didn't take him out, but for him to do that, that kind of helps the Admirals after what we've seen just now. But him approaching Kid's about to lay wreckage to his people and just destroying them. Divine Departure. Who have we seen that move from before? And of course, it's not a mystery. Gold Roger himself. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's just a King's Conqueror move. I don't know if that's kind of some elite sword skill that he knows for some reason. You could look really too far into it and be like, does Mihawk have a similar thing? But Divine Departure not only took out, and I'm telling you, took out Kid. We saw Kid take plenty of shots from Big Mom. Plenty of shots. Like, and with varying scale of power on these shots, and continue to be moving. After he took this shot, he was out. He was out. His crew thought that he might have been dead. And not only that, just for collateral, Killer was trying to jump in there to save him. Of course, he was too late because, I mean, speed. But he was also out. He was also kind of out of it. And the boys were like, yo, relax. Like, we'll forfeit. You guys got this one. Here's our road poneglyphs. And he's like, yeah. And then behind him, what do we see? What do we see but Dorian Bragi with the... I don't know what they called it initially. And I have to check the translation because it was such a short chapter. Usually I read 2 translations to be sure. But it was a move similar, if not the same, as Kaido and Big Mom. Now, there's no way it's the same scale. There's just no way. There's no way. Oda, relax. But I think he did a good job of power scaling them. Having that same move that we saw in chapter like, I don't know, 40? No. Chapter like 140, 120. Little Garden with them doing that to free the Straw Hats. But it's really cool. And without mercy, the entire Kid crew is done. They are sinking to the bottom of the ocean. They were utterly destroyed. Now, I think they're dead. It's always a question when it comes to Oda. I don't really know. I know a lot of people would be happy that Kid's dead. And I'd be like, yeah, you know, I'm all right with it. I could see somebody going in and maybe rescuing them for whatever reason, just so that they can kind of give motivation to maybe Luffy after the fact, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But Kid's out. Kid just got cooked bad. And then, like I said, with Blackbeard showing up to Egghead, you could say that Law got cooked too. So then it's just Luffy. And the funniest part is Shanks was like, yeah, don't underestimate these 3 billion. Like, these youngsters, you don't know their power. We don't know where they're at. And then he goes and just fucks them up bad. 3 billion, nothing. The immediate power scaling as he is the strongest person that we know right now. By what seems like a lot. Because they were trying to put Kid, Law, and Luffy on the same level. Now, we didn't buy that. Of course not. We're not stupid. And we knew that Luffy was kind of maybe a half step ahead of them. Maybe even a full step because we don't really know 100% of what Gear 5's about yet. And we were debatably putting Kaido and Shanks on the same tier. And I think that's kind of out of the water too. But what's interesting about that is, what did they say about Kaido? If it's a one-on-one bet on Kaido. Now, I don't know how you can say that when Shanks just absolutely obliterated them. He seems to be a good guy, keeping a lot of these people under his banner, but he doesn't seem to be messing around with people like Kid. And I think Dorian Bragi kind of backed that up because, in my opinion, Dorian Bragi have to be good guys. They like kind of have to be. Shanks is somewhere in between, and of course he's a pirate, so we're not 100% sure. And so are Dorian Bragi, of course. But they seem to be noble in a way. They seem to respect him from a place of nobility as leaders themselves. And it's just interesting. It's just interesting because what they said was before they attacked, they're like, if you point a loaded gun at us, be expected to be shot back. Be expected to taste what we got. And they showed him. Not only destroying... I like that ship's design. It was a solid ship design, but now it's toast. Kid is toast. Killer is toast. And the entire crew is drowning as we speak. They could debatably save themselves. And because Shanks is heading out, I don't think they're dead. I think they'll pull themselves up, but... where do they go from here? I don't know. That kind of takes Kid a little bit out of the running, maybe, unless he awakens some shit. But I'm pretty sure his fruit was already awakened with the move that he attempted to use on his fleet. So an amazing chapter. We get a break, but my God, was that just like everything we needed. Shanks just destroying. We don't even know where he's headed. What happens if he's headed to Egghead? Then what? Then what? Like, what are we doing at that point? I don't even know. But now that we know how strong Shanks is, what does this tell us about the government? What does this tell us about the Gorosei speaking with him? What does this tell us about Shanks? You tell me, because I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know for sure is that this guy is an absolute menace, who could be on the same level as, like, Prime Beard, Goldie Roger. It's possible. We just don't have any measurement to say that. He could be past them. He could have passed them. He could be the new. We just don't know. Time will tell. Go read that chapter. Hope you guys have a good one, and peace out.